Hi there, this is Rafaela Bonfim here, and I'll be talking about literature review to help other students who, just like me, are on the final phase of their studies and need to prepare for their dissertation. So, what's about literature review? It is indeed hard work. We do need to read a lot and analyze a lot of information. But that's going to help you to find out who you are in the context of the research and where you're going to. It's going to help you to understand better the questions and objectives you already have for your research. It is important to know what has been said about the subject. Of course, you already have an overview. You already start reviewing the literature in the moment that you start at university. That's when you're going to get in contact with all these different topics in your field, and you're going to find out what interested you more and what doesn't interest you so much. And you're also going to get to know a lot of authors in the field during your classes and everything. And by that time, you possibly already have a list of references where to research and a background on the topic. So, on the moment of your final phase, you're going to start filtering this information. That's when you're going to critically analyze what has been done that was very good in the topic and what are the points that they failed to address, what has not been said so far. And that's going to help you to show the importance of the work that you are about to do. Why is it relevant that someone does what you're aiming to do? So, what's going to help you to critically review these papers? It's going to help you to refine your research question, meaning that you will be able to you already have a question on your mind, and you're going to be able to make it more specific. So, for instance, you want to research about, let's say, recruitment, and then while you're reading these papers, you find out that a lot has been going on in the sense that companies are nowadays centralizing the recruitment department in one country and doing from there the recruitment globally. And you decided that it's an interesting topic and it's worth to analyze it. It's going to help you to highlight the research possibilities that has been overlooked in previous works. That's when we said before that you're going to analyze what has not been done yet. So some points that they failed to address in other papers that you could possibly address now. You can also find a lot of information and recommendations for future research that people normally add on their own research, like for whatever limitations they might have had, they didn't have the time or the tools to go one step further. And then on your own research, you could do that. It's also going to help you to avoid trying to reinvent the wheel. A lot has been said on the subject that you're planning to do, and you can use that information on your favor. It's also going to help you to research what's going on the media about that topic. The world is changing very fast, and a lot of things change, So if you're not tuned with the current trends, you might do a paper that is totally outdated and not important anymore. So it's important that in this phase you also keep up with the journals and articles on your field. It's also going to help you to define the best methodology for your own research. You can use different tools to do your research. You can decide that the best ways to do interviews or questionnaires or go on a field trip and all these different kind of methodologies that you can use. And you're going to find out at this phase. So the content of a critical review looks like this puzzle here, because it cannot be a catalog. All the information that you have needs to be linked. You need to have all these topics here, and they need to be linked with each other and forming the puzzle. What does critically review means? According to the Oxford Dictionary, it means analyze the merit and the faults of a work of literature, music, art. In order to do that, you do need to know what you're talking about. You cannot simply criticize something if you don't know it. As I said before, it's important to know who are the experts on your area. In order to do so, you need to know what are the classic works that's being done in the field you were about to research in order to use that on your own paper. As I also said before, you need to find out what opposes your idea and what is pro your idea in order to form something. You cannot just use papers that's going to help you, but you also have to show the different views. And on this is going to help you making that. It's also going to help, it's important to mention that it's also going to help you to show to make your own paper more strong, meaning that you can say more than I think. You can base all the information you have on facts, on other works that has been done. It will make what you say look stronger. How to do a literature review? What about this structure? You always have to start from the general and then narrowing down to the specific. You need to provide a brief overview of key ideas and themes. You need to summarize, compare, and contrast the research of the key writers. Narrow down to highlight previous research work most relevant to your own research. Provide a detailed account of the findings of this research and show how they are related. Highlight those aspects where your own research will provide a fresh insight, and lead the readers into subsequent sessions of your project report, which will explore these issues. So it needs to be smooth. It needs to come from the bottom down and also be linked to your dissertation. You have to have a link. So this shows more or less what you need to do. It illustrates what has been said on the previous slide. So, what kind of sources you can use on your literature review? You should always use primary sources, which means the primary sources are the work that has actually been done, the original paper. And you should always aim for this one. Secondary sources are works that has been done based on the primary source. For instance, a book that has been written summarizing or analyzing this primary source. And the tertiary sources are just catalogs and a list of secondary or primary source. You can see on this slide here examples of primary, secondary, and tertiary source. And again, you should bear in mind that primary sources are the most important and the ones you should actually use. So this is how to research the sources. So you should know more or less what you're searching to make it easier for you, what language you are researching, the subject areas, the business sector, the geographical area, the publication period, dates you could also use, for instance, literature type. You should know the keywords and search terms, and that you can do by reviewing the articles, reviewing all other literature reviews that has been done on the same subject that you're doing. You can do brainstorm sessions with your classmates, for instance, or teachers. You can make a relevance tree by putting all the keywords and terms. You can research on database and search engines, but you should bear in mind that you should have criteria, otherwise it's too broad. You're gonna find all kind of information, especially on the internet, that are not always relevant. So you should use your criteria and you should be wise on narrowing down this research and prioritize what is more important.